Hello. In this video, I will be archiving a spurgout that Dev, otherwise known as ShortFatOtaku, had with much of his former fanbase. This video will not cover his more recent hot takes because I can't be asked. I won't be reading out the messages. Instead, they are in somewhat chronological order, with some other user reactions for context moving by as I sum up what happened. Previously, I structured my video as most video essayists would, but to be honest, I just want this done and over with, and this is much easier to make than a real video. This all takes place in Daddy's Dungeon, a server made by Dev's Discord admin as a copy of the server, as it was when the purge happened. Said admin is German, if his name didn't already imply that. I was a big fan of Dev back in 2015 and supported him like many of the people in this video. I'm not doing this out of malice, nor hatred, because of some breakup in a parasocial relationship. Me and him did not speak before this, and I was never interested in anything more than his content. I'm doing this to fulfill a promise I made to follow up my previous video. I've been busy with work and my own projects, but I have some time now to detail out what happened. These clips are taken from the server within the last week. One user shows up as deleted user, that's Scrump. Any other users that show up are former fans. I will be showing some DMs between myself and Dev, but only to show he lied about me on stream, and only the ones I posted. The other 2 hours of that conversation, one I didn't really want to have and felt like it was more an impromptu venting session for him, will not be posted. I value privacy, but lying about someone and then hiding behind the DMs and saying people are terrible for showing said lies is scummy behavior. It all started on September 15th, 2022, 9 months after the purge. If you don't know, my previous video documents the day of the purge and some theories as to why it happened. Dev enters Autism Central, the server's main chat, and immediately starts insulting people. Some people try to be nice to him, but they're shot down. It's really clear that he's not here in good faith. Keep in mind, many of these users were banned just through association and never given any real reason for it. He even admits this after telling one user he was an asshat despite doing nothing. Then he announces he's leaving. He does this several times and ends up coming back each time. Of course, he notices Scrump in the SFO Embussy thread, and they have a long and drawn-out fight with the entire server spectating. This argument is long, and I'll post some of what was said, but honestly, it's just a waste of time, or cheap entertainment depending on how you look at it. I didn't catch wind of this spurgout until the tail end. This is when I end up seeing all of the bile he's been spewing all over the server. After reading some more, I decided to tell him he was making a mistake. We got into a long discussion on it, and I ended up realizing that he was not going to give any kind of sincere apology. He ended up posting a final ultimatum after I had said making an apology would be good. Of course, no one accepted it and he left. Dev would later lie about me and others on his live stream.
That being said, Lemonbot, if you are one of the people that I have banned, go ahead. You can come back. Ginger Jack, I offered Ginger Jack an unban, and he didn't take it. So that being said, here's what I've gone wrong, okay? I decided to go through all the logs of the server again and look over all the bans, all right? So I went back. I found everyone who I think I probably made a mistake with. I apologized to them. I said, listen, all right, water under the bridge. I'm sorry I banned you. And then I unbanned them, all right? And Lemonbot was one of them, okay? Ginger Jack was another, but he didn't want to come back, so he can just stay gone. That's his business, all right? Here's the funny thing. One guy, actually, no, it was Ginger Jack. He's like, listen, we will only accept returning if you make a main video on the channel apologizing to everyone and unban everyone, put it back the way it was. And I was just like, no! No.
I love the entitlements.
No. You will stay banned.
This, of course, was not true, and he was perfectly willing to pay me lip service, but the idea of him admitting to his followers he'd lied about someone on stream with no way to defend themselves was out of the question. He also claimed that Discord admins contacted him and said that his server was being used to plan raids.
Discord sent me an email and said, listen, there's a good chunk of your users who are specifically harassing other people and harassing other Discords and planning it in your server. And you need to fucking stop this shit, or we're going to delete your server. And I was like, holy shit.
I can't say that this is an outright lie, but I have evidence to suggest it's false. First, I talked with several of the moderators on the server, and they had not been told when people were banned that it was because of a notice by Discord. You would think that the owner would talk to his mod team about this, but surprise, he didn't. Second, he stated that his Discord was cancer the day of the purge, and stated that he would make changes. No mention of Discord messages, nor is it mentioned in his spurgout. Third, I got in contact with an owner of a fairly large political Discord server. about how they had been contacted by Discord as a warning to them and their mod team. I will not reveal who this person was, as they have no connection to these events. What the owner said was that Discord had not only contacted them with what was a very vague demand to curb content on the platform, but they also sent it to the entire moderation team. This makes sense. When you want to manipulate a server, you scare the whole mod team with personal threats for account deletion so that they themselves police the site how you want. If you left it with the owner specifically, you would be leaving it up to them to enforce your rules upon their moderation team. This way, the server owner is forced to either replace their mod team or accept the change in rules, vague as they are. On the raid claim,
so I went through the logs, and I was like, oh shit, there actually is. Like, there was like a group of people. And part of it, oh no, so here's the interview. Some of these people have been watching me since the very beginning. And I have to like kick some of these people out, unfortunately. But, and I kind of miss them because I recognize those names, and they were around 5 years ago. But basically, what happened was, there was a group of people. Well, firstly, there was a group of people who were invited in because they didn't actually know who I was. They just knew that I didn't really moderate my server at all. And so they could basically like gather up crowds to raid people with impunity down in like the deeper channels of my server, okay? And those people, I just fuck you. You're not even here to watch my content. You don't know who I am. I'm just gonna kick you. So I just kick them all. All right.
Madapasta, a prominent mod at the time, suggested that the Raiders might have been Dev's own community protesting the Minecraft server was being mishandled by Dev. This happened close to the purge, and there were no other mentioned raids that happened even within a few months of the purge. Not to mention that the protesters were peaceful, and when asked to post specifically on Pilk spam, they did so. My theory is that Dev had people on his server that made fun of him because of the culture of the server and his inactivity, and he just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
If you want to go down into the shit bus, into the shitpost short bus channel and be a fucking asshole and like insult me and insult whoever, fine.
He decided to ban people and then got flack for it. Thinking that he had gotten away with it and that his server would recover, he decided to just wait it out and pretend like nothing happened. When it didn't, and I'd like to think that his money flow from donations through the $5 club dried up after 80% of his most active users left, he tried to get people back on. But if you're someone like Dev, who is not emotionally mature, you don't want to admit to mistakes you've made. So what do? You offer them a chance to come back if they ask. Get the money, save the pride, and all the while save face by never admitting to fault. Dev is incredibly petty, cruel, and willing to lash out at people who did nothing wrong just for being associated with people who criticized him. I say criticism because despite his claim that his server was being used for raids, he himself later admits the real reason why people were banned: getting criticism and being made fun of. Not being online, banning people who didn't violate the rules of his server for various reasons, not fulfilling his promises to his supporters, and just a general lack of care in managing his community had really rubbed people the wrong way. So they did what most people would do in that situation: voice their opinions and laugh it off. If you are supporting him now, don't. This is not the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. If we learned anything from this, the Pikami situation, and Dev's overall treatment of his fans, it's that he doesn't care. He has no concept of loyalty or honor and will shotgun ban people if there's even a hint of trouble. To him, you are nothing. Some rando instead of the people providing him an income and genuine supporters of his work as a content creator. I regret giving him the money I have, and I'd rather not see this repeat. Nothing is uglier than a middle-aged man throwing a tantrum.
You lied to your
server
and betrayed the
active
who
users.
fought for you. What's happening to you?
Dev.
Is vengeance all that's important to you?
Spare me.
Cookies.
You weren't there to see what
A group of people.
did to my
Discord.
He's still here. He's still in this place, waiting, watching, soulless eyes of a madman within the dark digital corners. Why? Only God knows. But the depths of his insanity, as always, will come to the surface once again. The only way to stop this cycle is to leave him to his ramblings and never give the fat man money.